Let's bring you this now. Hawkers operating in the Johannesburg CBD says the recent attacks on foreign nationals is not only unfair but was disturbing. Earlier this week, Operation Dudula members had marched to Johannesburg Park Station to demand that Prasa allow only South African vendors to operate there. The Yeoville market was also set ablaze. So let's discuss this even further now. We're joined by Juleka Lateep from the One Voice of All Hawkers Association. Juleka, thank you so much for your time this morning. Can you tell us what the association has learned on the ground of what kind of attacks have been happening these past couple of weeks?
Good morning, and thank you for the opportunity. The past week has been really, it has been a horrific time for the informal traders, especially being, in a very tight spot. People are trying very hard to put food on the table, and just after the pandemic, we are seeing more and more joblessness, and even the informal traders are at a very bad state at the moment. And for this uproar to happen in the city is very devastating, not even the least about the Yeoville market being burnt, and Park Station also now being targeted as well.
So with that being said, what do you make of the reasoning behind the calls to only allow South Africans to operate businesses there by Park Station?
It's a bit of a very, very, it's actually difficult at the moment because there needs, I'm sure I've had a previous conversation with Anchor, there needs to be an engagement. There needs to be a platform of sitting down and sort out the situation, because we see the city being now overcrowded because of joblessness. And people are moving out of the communities now, wanting to come into the CBD. And we all know the CBD is expensive to travel every day. If you are living in Soweto and you're coming into the CBD, it's going to cost you a lot of money. So the economy of it's not going to work out, because you cannot, if you stay in the city, it's a different story. Your expenses are less. But if you're traveling from Soweto to the CBD, you can definitely not make ends meet. So I don't know how is that going to work, seriously.
And also, what's the feeling like on the ground, from your members as well as your associates on the targeted attacks?
Well, the members are devastated because, like I said, they have not been engaged, they have not been spoken to, and they definitely are in a tight spot because now they've just been pushed off their spaces, and in a very, very violent way. And you cannot do that to anybody, push them off their spaces, because they're trying to put food on the table.
And Juleka, I know that you've been quoted as saying that there should be better engagement on this matter other than just pushing people off the street. Can you expand on what engagement you talk of and that you think would actually be appropriate at this time?
Well, in the past, I'm talking about between 2015, 14 or 15, there was a very similar thing happened when there was a tendency already in the city about xenophobia, and I'm talking about the steel cages were removed from the city, meaning that they wanted to get rid of informal traders, whether it was migrants or South Africans, because the city wanted to clean up the informal traders. So you see there already where it started from. And nothing has been done since then. Instead, we as one organization, including the informal traders, South Africans, with the migrants, we got together with 8,000 strong traders that took the city to court. With CD, we won the case to put the traders back onto the streets, because the traders were actually removed with those steel cages. So you see how far our problem is from 2015 that we're sitting with this problem.
Well, we appreciate you speaking to us this morning and highlighting this issue right here on the South African Morning. Juleka Lateep from the One Voice of All Hawkers Association, thank you for your time this morning.